What is up, my dudes? It's your boy Musha today, coming at you with another guide. And I know it's been a bit since my last one, but they just dropped this super cool MK9 Smoke skin, and I really dig it. I absolutely love this. And Smoke is one of the characters that I have a lot of fun playing, because I love the aggression and the whole cancel stuff. So yeah, so I figured, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and make a guide, and let's get right into it. So as before, this is not a beginner guide. This is more of an advanced, slash like topic specific guide, right? And if you guys would like for me to make a beginner guide, just go ahead and let me know in the comments. I'd be more than happy to do that. I don't do it right away because I figure, hey, there's a lot of beginner guides and the character's been out for over a year. So you've probably already seen them. Hopefully you haven't seen what I'm talking about though. But if there's anything you want me to make a video on, let me know. And without any further delay, let's get into it. So Smoke is a rushdown character, right? I mean, it's obvious. He has cancels, right? He's got all that stuff. He can do like mix in his cancels, and he has teleport that's anti-zoning. He has no projectiles at all. This is a knife that goes full screen. This is a vapor cancel that literally rushes you toward the opponent. And he has a smoke bomb that takes so long, you can go make a cup of coffee, come back, and the coffee will be cold before the smoke bomb lands. But jokes aside, yeah, he's obviously meant to rush down and just be right in their face trying to mix them. So, and he has Invis, which helps out his kit a lot because it makes his mix something that you can't really react to. So, yeah, so let's go ahead and put it together. But the way that he goes ahead and rushes down is a little different from other characters, right? So just to kind of show you an example, we have Johnny, right? So Johnny is a rushdown character as well. See, he's plus on a lot of his buttons. He's plus or safe. Like here he's plus, here he's plus, here he's plus. If he does this, he's barely minus. Here he's also plus. Here he's plus. I mean, he's plus. Well, there he's not plus. Sorry, there he's minus. But you see the point. The point is that he's very. It's always his turn, and one way or another, it's always his turn. And he has ways to stop you from trying to take your turn back. Right, so if he does this, for example, this jails, things like that, and he has strings that he can toss out to keep you afraid, So, but if we look at Smoke, right, Smoke, that's not the case. So he's minus on all of his stuff. See, he's minus on his stand 2, stand 1, and his forward 1-2 is +2, which doesn't jail into any of his comboing attacks. The only thing you're guaranteed from here is a poke. See, which gives up your turn, which is it. So it's kind of funny because he has no way to kind of force you to hold block. So then, how do you pressure with Smoke? And the answer to that is with his cancels, and it's not just cancels off rip, because I know that you guys have probably seen someone doing stuff like this, right? Going right, that kind of stuff. So, and that's not what you want to do. Because when you do it like that, it's very obvious, and his cancels, you can always poke on them. So if I said Johnny to go, like, for example, if he's gonna, actually, let me set him to do something else. If he goes, if he does that, right? So now I put him to attack. Go ahead and do it. Yeah, I did. All right, if I go ahead and do that, then if I go, see that? I can get comboed every time by Johnny, and that is not what you want, right? You don't want to be knocked all the way back and have no real way to get in, because his neutral sucks. He doesn't really have any buttons that close the gap particularly well, except for back 2 and forward 4, right? So forward 4 does jail into his forward 3. So you can do things from that. You can do that, right? That does jail into his forward 3, but that's pretty much it. And on top of that, forward 4 is a button that is really, really easy to see coming, duck, and full combo punish. I'll show you what that looks like. So if I take control of Smoke, let's just say I put us in the neutral, and then I have Smoke do that button, and I have him do this button, right? Look what happens. If he goes ahead and does that, You have 3 business days to see that he's going to go ahead and do that, duck, and get your combo, right? And if he does this, you can interrupt him from doing that. See? So neither of those 2 buttons are a particularly attractive option for like trying to close in the distance. It sucks, but that's kind of the idea. Is you know, like he doesn't really have a particularly good way to close the gap, except for maybe his vapor cancel or stuff like that. Cameos do help, like Serena cameo helps him with neutral. Sector cameo is amazing on him too, things like that. But I'm going to show you what you can do with smoke once you're in to make sure that you stay in, right? And let me show you what that looks like. So we were talking about the cancels and how the cancel gives up your turn, right? So what you can do is, this is why you have to be able to do single button input cancels, right? If you can't do this, right? If you can't do multiple cancels like that, and I mean regardless of button length, like for example, if you can't do that, there's no point in playing the character. Then it's a moot point. Go pick another character. You know, it's not worth it. So, but if you can manage to do the cancels, then this is what you're gonna do, right? What you're gonna do is, the best cancel to start with, the best button to kind of like try to press once you're in, is like you could do down 3, right? With down 3, you can see you can get in. He has a double poke with down 3-4, and most pokes are minus, but this particular poke, it's safe if you cancel it. So that's pretty good, right? So that's pretty good if you do this, and you can actually close the gap with it. If you manage to hit the second hit, you're in. And what you do is, if you see that they poke on your cancel, so if you do a cancel, right? Actually, I already have that recorded. So if you do a cancel, and let's go ahead and put him to reversal. Oh, he doesn't have it. Okay. Go ahead and record it again. Okay, he's gonna do that, right? Perfect. Make sure. Okay, great. So if you do this, and you see he does that, then what you're gonna do is, you're going to do a single button cancel and then wait to see how he reacts. If he blocks, I mean, if he attacks, tries to take his turn back, then you know that he's a more aggressive player. So what you can do is do this and then take your turn if he messes up, right? So you can go ahead and try to respect, see what he does. The other thing too that you can do is, if you see that all he does is try to poke you back, so I'm going to go ahead and put him to just poke, right? If I see that all he tries to do is pokes, I can poke back, and I can take my turn. See, and he's going to lose that trade, right? Because if I poke him back, it's my turn, and at least I can get a mix without him challenging it. See? So that's one thing that you can do, is you could just get your turn back through punishing his poke with your poke. Because in this game, you can punish a poke with another poke. See how it says punish? And I can do that every time. See? So that's what you want to do. It's a tight frame, it's a tight window, but you can go ahead and do that. And that's how you can go ahead and get him to stop poking. You can just wait, he pokes, you poke back, you get a frame advantage, and then you can go ahead and start your pressure. So the other thing that you have to be able to do is, the same way that you stagger and see how they react, that same thing applies to your cancels. So if you do this, that's an example of both of those 2 things combined. See? And boom, that's 47% because he tried to poke. I do that twice and it's GG, shake my hand. See? So that's strong, that's really powerful. And that's how it is that you want to try to play with smoke, to try to get them to not poke on you all the time. What the other thing you have to watch out for, that they can totally start doing, is they can start armoring, right? So if I try to do this, they could just say, you know what, I'm not having any of that, armor, and that's it. See? So well, the way that you counter that is you could do you could do your own armor, right? See, so you could do that. In this case, he flies right past me. See, but if I do that, what's oh wow, he's always gonna miss. So you can try to do that to get around it. Or the other thing that you could do is just block, right? And you can bait out. So if I do this, and then just punish it. Boom, that's 48% because he tried to armor in my gap. See, and then what's gonna happen is, either scenario, what they're gonna eventually start doing is this. They're gonna just start blocking. And that's exactly what you want, because when they're blocking like that, you can start challenging them with your cancels. And that's where you really just start mixing them. Right? And that's awesome because you have overhead low, overhead this, that, and that's exactly what you want. Because eventually, all it takes is one mistake. They mess up once, right? If I go, I want it to block the first hit. They messed up, and I get my full combo. See? All they do, they mess up once, and boom, combo city. And that's exactly what you want. You want them to be like that. And then that's how you create pressure with him. And now there's still one thing left that is kind of an issue, which is that Smoke, it seems like he has a lot of mix, but in reality, it's kind of tricky, right? Because what happens is his overhead is 28 frames and his low is 12 frames. So that means that his overhead is more than twice as slow as his low. And I mean, that means that it's really easy to react and block either or, right? So you can have all this pressure. If at the end of the day you can't land your hit, then it doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't matter. So when you get to a higher level, that's what's going to start happening. And that's where this comes into play, being able to go invis. Now you want to be able to go invis with Smoke anytime you can. Like you want to spend most of the time invis if possible. And one good way to do that is with the EX Smoke Bomb, right? But the thing you got to be careful with is you can't just do this every time. You can't go every single time, or like, and then boom, I'm invis. You can't always do that, because what's going to happen is, let's just say I take control of Johnny, and I put Smoke to do that, right? If I put him to do that, you can get full comboed, right? Or, whoops, let's try it again. There we go. Know what's going on? I don't think it punished it. There we go. And then now it's Johnny's turn, right? And you don't want that. So they can do that to you, or they could even... they can anti-air you. And you don't want that, because that ruins your pressure. You just spent a bar, you can't break, and now it's their turn and they're the ones pressuring you. So you want it the same way that you're changing up the cancel timing, you want to change up the Smoke Bomb timing. So you can do it, for example, if I start a combo, let's just say I go here, random combo. Say I do this. Now I'm invis, and they have to guess my mix. See, so that's one way to do it. And the other way is that you can try to structure your combos so that at the end of a combo, you're going invis. And one simple way to do that doesn't require a cameo is like this. And boom, just like that, I'm invis. See? So that's kind of the idea. That's what you want to try to do with Smoke, so that you can guarantee that your pressure keeps going. See? There I'm invis, and then now they have to guess. It doesn't matter how slow or not the overhead is. If I'm invis, you can't see it. You can't react to what you can't see. So that's one way to do it. And then with Scorpion specifically, from any touch, you can go invis. See? And that's really, really strong. That's awesome. So that's one way that you can use, like, for example, Scorpion to go invis like that. You just have to do a teleport and then do your EX invisibility. And it depends on which side. If you want to stay same side, you can do the EX tele, cancel. If you want to switch sides, you can do smoke bomb. Usually, I'll structure his combos so I switch sides like that. Because I want to keep him in the corner. See, and like, I mean, already that by itself, I mean, that was most of their health. So like in an ideal scenario, let's just say that you have them, show you what that might look like. You go ahead, you get this, they got hit. Right? See, and like, for example, let's try that again, because I haven't auto-blocked it. Right, and that's the whole game already, basically, you know? All from just like a couple of mixes. And remember that with smoke, you can get a lot of damage going. I mean, that's 47%. You could even get, if for example, if I put him to stop blocking. Actually, let's do this combo. I messed up there, but you can already see that I wasn't even done with it, and I got 49. I mean, that was 2 bar, 48. If I can go here. Yeah, I messed up there, but you can get really, really good damage with them, is the point I'm trying to make. So you can 2-touch people and all of that and go invis. And that's pretty much most of it. I guess one more thing I want to cover is a cancel that you should especially be able to do is this forward 3 cancel. That cancel should be your bread and butter, because you need to be able, because a lot of times they'll do this and they'll up block if you try to do this. And the way that you can get around that is you do this, right? So if I set him, for example, to go and then up block, then what ultra happens? See, I can go ahead and do that. So, and I can get a full combo. See, and that's, I mean, that's 43% just because they try to up block. You know what I mean? Like, they try to do this in your string. And that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, that's what I wanted to cover with smoke. If there's anything else that you guys would like to see, remember to like, you know, comment, subscribe, let me know, and I'll go ahead and make a video on it. But that's been pretty much my guide on smoke for now. And all right, guys,